Hi guys, Brittany back again. This is part 3 of my March haul. I'm gonna get into it because again there are so many freaking books. But here we go. First up is Hunted by Megan Spooner. I have seen this all over the place. I think it's a retelling on Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, I'm excited to read it. Beauty knows the Beast forest in her bones and in her blood. She knows that the forest holds secrets and that her father is the only hunter who's ever come close to discovering them. But Yiva's grown up far from her father's old lodge, raised to be part of the city's highest caste of aristocrats. Still, she's never forgotten the feel of a bow in her hands, and she spent a lifetime longing for the freedom of the hunt. So when her father loses his fortune and moves Yiva and her sisters back to the outskirts of town, Yiva is secretly relieved. Out in the wilderness, there's no pressure to make idle chatter with vapid baronesses or to submit to marrying a wealthy gentleman. But Yiva's father's misfortune may have cost him his mind, and when he goes missing in the woods, Yiva sets her sights on one prey, the creature he's been obsessively tracking just before his disappearance. Deaf to her sister's protests, Yiva hunts this strange beast back to its own territory, a cursed valley, a ruined castle, and a world of creatures that Yiva's heard about only in fairy tales. A world that can bring her ruin or salvation. Who will survive, the beauty or the beast? That sounds really cool. I'm excited to read that. I know everybody's talked about it, so it must be good. Next up, we've got Spindle by E.K. Johnson. I have the other book that he or she wrote. I think it's a girl wrote this. I haven't read it yet, but now I have the, ooh, look at the inside. Now I have the next one. It has been generations since the storyteller queen drove the demon out of her husband and saved her country from fire and blood. Her family has prospered beyond the borders of their village, and 2 new kingdoms have sprouted on either side of the mountains. There are demons that are kept prisoner by bright iron and by the creatures the storyteller queen made to keep them contained. But the prison is crumbling. Through years of careful manipulation, a demon has regained her power. She has made one kingdom strong and brought the other to its knees, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When a princess is born, the demon is ready with the final blow, a curse that will cost the princess her very soul or force her to destroy her own people to save her life. The threads of magic are tightly spun, binding princess and exiled spinners into a desperate plot to break the curse before the demon can become a queen of men. But the web of power is dangerously tangled, and they may not see the true pattern until it's unspooled. That sounds really cool. Next up, I'm trying to collect like the Puffin editions, but it's really hard to get a hold of them on Book Outlet because I feel like everybody wants them. But I was able to snag the Puffin edition of Aladdin and Other Tales from the Arabian Nights. I feel like everybody knows what Aladdin is, so I don't think I need to read this, but yeah. Next up, I've got The Fall of Butterflies. This is by Andrea Porteous. I only bought this based on the cover because it's so pretty and I can do really good pictures with it. But I have no idea what it's about. Willa Parker, 646th and least popular resident of What Cheer, Iowa, is headed east to start a new life. Did she choose this new life? No, because that would be too easy, and nothing in Willa's life is easy. It's her famous genius mother's idea to send her to an ultra-expensive, ultra-exclusive Pembroke prep, and it's the only strength of her name that got Willa accepted in the first place. But Willa has no intention of fitting in at Pembroke. She's not staying long, she decides, not at this school, not on this planet. But when she meets a peculiar, glittering Remy Taft, the richest, most mysterious girl on campus, she starts to see a foothold in this foreign world, a place where she can maybe, possibly, sort of fit. When Willa looks at Remy, she sees a girl who sees everything, or who has everything. But for Remy, having everything comes at a price. And as she spirals out of control, Willa can feel Remy spinning right out of her grasp. In Willa's secret heart, all she's ever wanted is to belong. But if Remy, the girl who gives her this world, is slipping away, and is Willa meant to follow her down? Andrea Porti's incandescent, heartfelt novel explores the meaning of friendship, new beginnings, and the precarious joy of devastating pain of finding home in a place, a person with wings. That sounds cool. First up, we've got Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman. Imagine a time when the gods turn a blind eye to the agony of men, when the last of the Hellions roam the plains and evil stirs beyond the edges of the map. A time where cities burn and in their ashes empires rise. Alexander, Macedon's 16-year-old heir, is on the brink of discovering his fated role in conquering the known world, but finds himself drawn to a newcomer. Katrina must navigate the dark secrets of court life while keeping her own mission, kill the queen, but she doesn't account for her first love. Jacob will go to the unthinkable lengths to win Katrina, even if it means having to compete with Hephaestion, a murderer sheltered by the prince. And as far across the sea, Sophia, a Persian princess and Alexander's unmet betrothed, wants to alter her destiny by seeking the famed and deadly spirit eaters. That sounds really cool. I love fantasy, so I'm excited. Next up, I've got a trilogy here. Rebel Belle, Lady Renegades, and Miss Mayhem. These are all by Rachel Hawkins. I'm going to read the first synopsis of the first book because I don't want to ruin the other ones. But here we go. Harper Price, peerless Southern belle, was born ready for a homecoming tiara. But after a strange run-in at the dance imbues her with incredible abilities, Harper Destiny takes a turn for the seriously weird. She becomes a paladin, one of an ancient line of guardians with agility, super strength, and lethal fighting instincts. And just when she thinks she can't get any more disastrously crazy, Harper finds out who she's charged to protect. David Stark, school reporter, subject of a mysterious prophecy, and possibly Harper's least favorite person. Things get even more complicated when Harper starts falling for him and discovers that David's own fate could very well be to destroy Earth. That sounds cool. I thought it was a contemporary, but I guess not. I mean, there's a knife, but sounds cool. Next up, I've got another series here, and that's Mind Games and Perfect Lies by Kirsten White. I'm going to read the first book. Annie and Thea are as close as two sisters can be. Most importantly, they keep each other's secrets, even the dangerous ones. Annie is blind but can see visions of the future. Thea was born with flawless intuition. Her first impulse is always exactly right. When the sisters are offered a place at an elite boarding school, Thea realizes that something is wrong, but she doesn't grasp just how wrong. At the Keene School, Thea is soon used for everything from picking stocks to planting bombs. If she tries to refuse, they threaten her with Annie's life. Now Thea is falling in love with a boy who has dark secrets of his own, and with his help, she's ready to fight back. They stole her past. They control her present, but she won't let them take her future. That sounds cool. Next, I've got The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. I actually bought this at Barnes & Noble, and then I ended up getting it in my Fake Crate box, so I have got two copies of this book. And I'm doing a giveaway on my Instagram right now. When I hit 1,800 followers, I am going to mail a winner a copy of this. It is going to be only in the U.S. because the last time I did a giveaway, I sent something to Canada, and it cost me $30 just to ship a Funko Pop. So because of that, and because I've already owned what I'm sending, I'm only doing it in the United States because I don't want to pay an astronomical amount of money to send it. But this is what this says. The Swan sisters arrived in Sparrow, Oregon in 1822. Margaret, the oldest, had long auburn locks, full lips, and a sharp jaw. Aurora, the middle sister, boasted soft waves of hair and bright full moon eyes. And Hazel, the youngest, was the plainest of the three, with smaller features and hair that twisted into a tumbling braid. Each was beautiful and each was misunderstood. A year later, the townspeople executed the Swan sisters for crimes of witchcraft, placing a curse on the small town of Sparrow, a curse that has never been broken until now, perhaps. So that sounds really cool. I'm really excited to read that. That's probably next on my TBR. I'm reading the Shadowhunters Codex right now, and I'm probably going to read this in between reading the Magnus Bane book, but we'll see. The Valiant, I don't know how you say this, by Leslie Livingston. I've seen this everywhere, so I'm really excited to check it out. Fallon is the daughter of a proud Celtic king, the sister of a legendary warrior, Sorcha, and the sworn enemy of Julius Caesar. When Fallon was a child, Caesar's armies invaded her homeland, and her beloved sister was killed in battle. Now on the eve of her 17th birthday, Fallon is eager to follow her sister's footsteps and earn her place in the fearsome Canty warband. She never gets the chance. Fallon is captured and sold to an elite training school for female gladiators, owned by none other than Julius Caesar. In a cruel twist of fate, the man who shattered Fallon's family might be her only hope of survival. Now she must overcome vicious rivalries and deadly fights in and out of the arena, and perhaps the most dangerous threat of all, a forbidden yet irresistible feelings for Kai, a young Roman soldier. A richly imagined historical fantasy for fans of Robin Lefevre's and Sarah J. Maas. The Valiant recounts Fallon's tumultuous, I so butchered that, journey from fierce Celtic princess to legendary gladiator and darling of the Roman Empire. That sounds really cool. I'm all for badass women and heroines, and if it's anything like Sarah J. Maas, I know I will love it. So yeah, next up we've got Writers and Seeker by Veronica Rossi. I'm just going to read the first one. Nothing but death can keep 18-year-old Gideon Blake from achieving his goals of becoming a U.S. Army Ranger. As it turns out, it does. Recovering from the accident that most definitely killed him, Gideon finds himself with strange new powers and a bizarre cuff he can't remove. His death has brought to life his real destiny. He has become War, one of the legendary 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. That is hella freaking cool. I am so interested in the 4 horsemen and all that, so I'm really excited to read this. Over the coming weeks, he and the other horsemen, Conquest, Famine, and Death, are brought together by a beautiful but frustratingly secret girl to help save humanity from an ancient evil on the emergence. They fail. Now bound, bloodied, and drugged, Gideon is interrogated by the authorities about his role in a battle that has become an international incident. If he stands any chance of saving his friends and the girl he's fallen for, not to mention all of humankind, he needs to convince the skeptical government officials the world is in immediate danger. But will anyone believe him? That sounds hella cool. I'm really excited. Like I said, I love anything about the 4 horsemen, so I'm really pumped to read that. So I'm going to cut this video off. I've got hopefully one more part left, so thank you if you're still watching this, and I will be right back with another one.